snowing here. January 6th in the middle of rural Pennsylvania, we got our first real big heavy snowfall. I wish I could shine a light behind me so you could see really how beautiful it is where I live. Right now I'm under a pine tree. I chose Van Cleef and Arpels Feerie Rose de Neige Winter Rose. So this is a rosy floral perfume, but they must have done some kind of twist on it because it is voted as a winter fragrance. Hop notes of lychee and pink pepper. Rose and magnolia are the middle notes. Tonka bean, Virginia cedar, and sandalwood are the base notes. Let's go. I can't wait. So usually with pink pepper, I tend to mistake that as like almost like a piffy grapefruit smell. It's not so much peppery to me as it is bitter. Oh, come on, this sprayer's broken. Come on, go, 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 go. Ah, there we go. Yes. Ooh, and that lychee smells so sparkly, even in this cool, cold weather. You don't really imagine rosy, fresh florals being a snowy wintertime fragrance, but this really does work. It smells so lovely. It is very strong. It projects a lot, great for wintertime. And it is different. It's very unique. It does smell a little bit mature. I think the first time my husband smelled this, he was like, yeah, it kind of smells like a mom, maybe a mom fragrance. Oof, my keyboard is getting snowed on. I have to hurry it up. Wonderfully fruity. It smells pink and sparkly and light. If you could imagine this snowfall being pink snowflakes, that's kind of what it smells like. And I'm gonna have to wait a little bit to get into that dry down. I'm just ecstatic that I got to use my snowy rosy fragrance on a day that it's actually snowing, and I got to share it with you. So that is my January 6th fragrance. Thank you so much, and I will see you tomorrow. Hello, today is January 8th. I already dropped the ball because I forgot. Well, I didn't forget. I just didn't have the time to sit down and film yesterday, January 7th, but I did make a decision and I did choose a perfume to wear for the day. So we're going to kind of do 2 in 1, actually 3 in 1 today. Shh, don't tell anybody. So yesterday, January 7th, it was the day after all that snowfall, after I wore Van Cleef & Arpels Feerie Rose de Neige. It was a Sunday, it was snowy. We were out there shoveling the snow. It actually wasn't that cold, or maybe I was just bundled up really well. It was actually a pretty nice day outside. It was pretty, it's beautiful. I had to get ready to go teach, and I was like, what do I smell when I go teach? Prada Candy. I have been through several samples. I really do like Prada Candy. This is on my full bottle wish list. I just never got around to getting a full bottle, but I always seem to have samples. So I am never without Prada Candy, but I really wish I had a big bottle because I really do like this a lot. I like this because, and maybe it's because it's snowy outside, it gave me like a snowy powdery feeling, like of, powder, light, fluffy, whatever. It's very caramelly, but it is not syrupy. It is not sticky. The top note is caramel. The middle notes are powder and musk, and the base notes are benzoin and vanilla. I wanted powdery and fluffy, I guess just because of all the snow. And also, I was going to teach, and I didn't want to smell like I was just sweating my butt off outside shoveling snow, and I also I don't want to smell like sweaty and offensive while I'm teaching. So I chose this because the powdery note, it kind of reminds me of baby powder, it's kind of like a fresh, clean smell. And then immediately after teaching, I had to go run some errands. I would say it was a solid 4 hours where I was able to smell myself and be like, damn, I smell good. But then once I picked up Chinese food, the car just smelled like Chinese food and I kind of lost my own scent. I couldn't smell myself. Okay, so now moving on to today, January 8th for real. Today, this morning, sometimes when I'm just laying in bed, still waking up, I'll scroll on Fragrantica just to see hey, did anybody review anything cool? And I saw a review of Rapture, Victoria's Secret Rapture, and I was like, oh yeah, I have that. But I have the old OG, this is probably from 1994. I know it launched in 1992. But I remember my mom having this like shortly after we moved to our new house in 1994. So it must have been like a gift for her. So this is probably very, very off, very old, possibly expired, maybe a little bit weird, or maybe even the formula is just different. So I sprayed this on my wrists this morning just to be like, I wonder how it holds up to what people are saying about it today. So even a lot of the more recent reviews of this are saying, oh, it smells so vintage. I love how it smells so vintage, which I guess is a good thing because when I first sprayed this, granted the top notes are probably a little funk. When I first sprayed this, I was like, ooh, this just smells like old, musky, a little bit oily, aldehyde-y, powdery, which is to be expected because usually the top notes are the most delicate ones, the more fragile ones that probably break down a lot faster. Top notes are orange blossom and citrus, so it does not surprise me that I kind of didn't get those. It was just some like funk that turned into something else. I immediately got more freesia. The middle notes are freesia, jasmine, and rose. I did get rose and I did get jasmine, but freesia was like the most noticeable one, maybe because I was just detecting a lot more powder. Freesia is said to be like a powdery, spicy floral. So I want to say I sprayed this around 10 a.m. and it's only 12 p.m. noon right now, so it's only been about 2 hours. And I've already lost a lot of the floral, and now it's just kind of like a warm, ambery, slightly powdery thing, like very close to the skin. It's a warm clean. Usually when I say clean, I think of things that are like fresh, like out of the shower, but this is a warm clean. This is like you took a hot shower and you put on like a nice cozy cotton something sweater, woolly fuzzy sweater. So this is like a warm clean, the warm laundry that just came out of the dryer. And there is a little bit of vanilla, but it's not a sweet vanilla. This is not a gourmand. Nobody should ever consider it a gourmand. Just because there is vanilla in here does not make it a gourmand. It's not sweet. It's just warm, cozy, ambery, powdery, but like I said, this is OG formula and probably a little bit off. But all of that being said, it does smell like how I remember it. Like my mom hardly ever wore perfume, but when she did, this is kind of what it smelled like. I think it holds up, and I think it is really nice for cold, chilly days where you want to feel warm and cozy and clean. That being said, I feel like I've already gotten everything I can get out of this. It's only been a couple of hours and it's already fading, and I feel like I'm not going to get much more out of this. So I wanted to try one of the noteworthy fragrances that I was talking about in my previous video, and I think this one would not clash with whatever is lingering from Victoria's Secret Rapture. So this is Noteworthy 441. This is also a very ambery, musky, powdery fragrance. The notes are amber, musk, spices, oak moss, woody notes, and heliotrope. So there is already a lot of overlap with Victoria's Secret Rapture. This just might be a little bit more spicy, and depending on what they did with the heliotrope, it might actually be sweeter. I feel like current day heliotropes are sweeter and almost give me like a marshmallow vibe. But it's a solid wintertime fragrance, and most people on Fragrantica seem to like it. And despite there not being any vanilla or caramel listed in the notes, a lot of the little reviews or like the things that people say in this card are that it reminds them of like a sugar cookie. It's kind of spicy, sweet, and caramelly. So who knows, maybe this would even add a little boost to Prada Candy that I was wearing yesterday, but I did my wrists with Victoria's Secret Rapture. I don't want to adulterate this, so I am gonna do one just on the back of my hand. Oof, didn't spray, it just squirted. Okay, come on, spray. I want to mist. Mist. No, it's not misting. And then maybe I'll do one on my shirt just to get an idea of how it smells on clothes. Okay, yeah, that is very sweet. That's a lot sweeter than you would expect just by looking at the notes. Whatever spices they put in here are not peppery spices. These are not the kind of like itchy throat, wrinkly nose spices. So I don't think there's any like black pepper or anything. So I'm thinking more along the lines of like pumpkin pie spices. You know, this is like nutmeggy, cinnamony, maybe a little bit clove, but I'm usually pretty sensitive to cloves too. Yeah, it's ambery. It's a lot sweeter than Victoria's Secret Rapture. And it's also not super musky. It's not super musky, not super spicy. I would say this is mostly like a safe vanilla amber with just like a little bit of maybe cinnamon or nutmeg or something. I would not consider this spicy. I'm very sensitive to spices and I would not consider this spicy. Yeah, so that's what we got today and yesterday, even though I forgot to film. So that's it. Thanks for joining me. I will see you tomorrow on the 9th, January 9th. Alright, it's January 9th. P.S. My birthday is in 10 days. Woohoo! And it's freaking snowing again. Kind of started turning into rain. So now it's all like slushy, sloppy, gross, slippery mess outside. But I guess the good news is work was canceled, so I don't have to teach. And I don't know, I guess because of all this snow, it's putting me in like a powdery mood. Today I'm picking a perfume that does have a little bit of a powdery vibe. Dana Navy. This was like a big thing in the 90s, and in the 90s I was just like a little kid, like literally I was born in 1990, so I was too little to like know or care or remember anything about perfumes. So I don't have previous experience with this. I don't have previous memories attached to this. There are a lot of people saying that the original formula in the 90s was like more ambery and had like sandalwood. It was a little bit warmer. It was just like better. And those same people are saying that nowadays, now that it's been reformulated, it's like too sweet. Like they added sugar or they added ethyl maltol to it, maybe. And the box that I have differs from what I see on Fragrantica. The box says that top notes are orange blossom and neroli. Meanwhile, on Fragrantica, and according to a lot of other people, there should be a top note of peach. Like, peach should really kind of come out swinging. And on Fragrantica, it also says green notes, like a green kind of dewy, fresh note. On the box, when you go into the middle notes, it says gardenia, jasmine, and heliotrope. On Fragrantica, it's also different. It says jasmine, orange blossom, ylang ylang, and rose. On the box for the base notes, cinnamon, amber, and musk. And on Fragrantica, cinnamon, amber, and musk are there, but there's also coriander and vanilla. So I'm a little confused. I've sprayed this a couple of times in the past and I found it pleasant and kind of like powdery and inoffensive. I don't know, I just kind of want to see what it feels like today. It is mostly rated as a cool weather. It should give me like a kind of warm, cozy, ambery vibe. I did just shower, you know, my hair is wet. Just had a face mask on, which is why I'm a little shiny right now. So I am hoping for like a post-shower comfy cozy feeling, especially on this wet, slushy, snowy day. I'll do a spray on my sweater and I'll do a spray on my skin just to see what we got here. The opening to me, it doesn't smell like super orange blossom and it doesn't smell like neroli, which is what it says on the box, but it also does not smell like peach and green. The top note to me just smells like Dial antibacterial hand soap, the gold or the orange, you know, like this color. It's not super sweet. Like, I am not getting sweet, sugary ethyl maltol notes that other people were complaining about in the newer formulas. I would not call this sweet by any means. This is much more soapy to me. I'm really not sure what's going on with the difference of notes on the back of this box versus the notes that are on Fragrantica. I am getting a little yellow floral, like the ylang ylang, ambery and warm on my skin, but I think on my clothes I'm detecting a little bit more musk and a little more like of the powdery vibe. I guess it is a little vanilla and a little animalic, but it's not sweet. So yeah, it's just overall a little bit soapy. I guess it's a little bit vintage. I can see how somebody might say that this is a mature vintage kind of nostalgic smell, but I think that's just from the musk and the amber and maybe the jasmine. Whatever version I got, it's not the sweet version, but it's also not quite matching up with the things that I'm seeing on Fragrantica. I think this is a nice fragrance for like a cozy day inside, hiding from the snow. I think this is a nice cool weather fragrance. I think it is warm, and I think it is a little bit woody and musky on the bottom, but not overbearing. Like there's no single note that sticks out more than the other ones. So at the very least, it's blended well. I think it's pretty safe as long as you don't overspray. It just kind of smells like, clean laundry. Yeah, so that is January 9th. I will see you tomorrow on January 10th.